Alright folks, yep, today we're going to start off in the pickup. Well, it's the life of a mobile mechanic, what can I tell you? But we're fixing to go through some of the most beautiful country in all of America, in my opinion. So, even though we're in this dingy old truck, I'm going to do what I can to kind of show y'all a little bit as we go along. Yeah, it's that pretty. But I guess while I'm at it, maybe a little bit about what we got going on. So I may have to reshoot this. I don't know if there's going to be a lot of wind noise and if I'll be able to correct it or not, but I'm going to try. But essentially, we're working on a Bobcat skid steer, which we've done a few. You may look back to, and I'll try to link it to the fuel pickup tube and service. I think that was a T590, but it may have been a different one. Anyway, this will pertain to all of them. But this will pertain to all of them. Essentially, the customer states he was operating this skid steer and suddenly it just turned off. So they replaced the fuel filter and whatnot, but was unable to ever get the machine to prime and crank again. So he called me and I come out and investigated the unit. Come to find out it's already had the fuel pickup tube done. Go figure. So that let me go ahead and make sure we could get fuel. And we could, but I noticed that we were sucking fuel a little bit. So we're sucking air. Could never really get fuel to the fuel rail. And on these units, as you know, it's a common rail. It's not a normal old school injector pump with individual rails like we're used to. So, you know, this is more modern. Anyway, after a lot of investigating, come to find out they had the plumbing wrong, I guess, after they changed the filter and whatnot. So I sorted that out. Finally got fuel back up to the injectors, but it still wouldn't crank. And the customer made the quick decision to go ahead and do injectors. That's what we're going to go do. So we're going to go do injectors. And with any luck, that's going to get this unit running, and then he'll have to load it, of course, and take that to Bobcat, because they'll have to be flow calibrated through the computer. So anyway, that's enough talk. I'll show you the sights as we go. my opinion. That view's pretty well perfect. Alright, here we are. So, injectors are right there. I'm going to move them out of the way, get our air box out of the way, and we'll get after it. Sorry I didn't get to film it all, but what you're going to do is you're going to undo your clamps at both ends of your air box. Undo your air box, okay? 2 bolts back here. There's 2 bolts in a nut here. And then there's 2 bolts over here. Alright, and then that bracket will come out of your way. And then you're going to unhook your lines from your injectors and your common rail. That'll come out of the way. Then, essentially, you're going to push the little gray clip back. Okay, it's on the bottom like that. You're going to have to push it back that way. And then you should be able to work it off of your injector. Then you're going to take all your bolts out here. Okay, 8mm. That's going to come off. This hose needs to come off, your intercooler and your intake. And then this one right here, just to make things easier. Okay. And then, that motor's got a lot of dirt in it already. Yeah, this motor's pretty sludgy looking right there in that corner. Anyway, then you're going to undo these bolts, okay? Here, 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 and here. Pull your injector locks out of the way. You're going to undo your return line from all your injectors, and then you're just going to have to pop them up out of there. Now, I know I made it sound simple. It's not going to seem so simple, but that's the process. And then you're just going to put it back in exactly the reverse order. So with that said, alright guys, sorry the battery ran dead, so you didn't get to see the completion. However, it is all back together. It cranked and ran momentarily, really rough. Again, on these newer Bobcats, you're going to need to take them in and have them flow controlled. Okay, so just with that said, know that that's the process that you're going to have to go through. So T550 all done. We're out of here.